Hello, sunshines. Welcome back to the channel, PoweFolk Living. I'm Lakeisha. I'm in Massachusetts, Zone 6B. It is now March and we are nearing spring. Like a couple of more days, it will be officially spring. I thought it would be a good time right now to go over everything that I have growing under my grow lights. The things that are growing just fine and some things that I've had some trouble with. And so we got a lot going on. I have this section turned off right now just for the sake of filming this, but I'm going to turn it on as we get closer to seeing what's underneath the grow lights. You all have been here with me starting a ton of seeds. So let's just dive in and see what's underneath these grow lights. Okay, so this right here is the first rack that I have. And so at the bottom, I have some soil and I have some things that I keep. Never mind that stuff. I tried my best to keep this area as neat as possible. And so I have 4 shelving units going on here, 3 different types of lights. And I actually, these look the same, these lights, but for some reason, I feel like this station, if you look at this first station, the lights are much brighter. When you come over here, they seem a little darker. I don't know if it's me thinking that or what, but let's get into what's on the shelves. So this particular shelf, we have some coleus that are doing quite well. You're going to see these on every shelf. These are gnat catchers. I normally don't experience gnats. I haven't seen them in the past years, but this year I am seeing them, and these have done very well. And so I have these on each shelf in order to catch the gnats, and they've been doing a good job. So here we have some coleus. We planted up these coleus. We up potted a lot of them. And in that particular video, I also just separated some and put them in their individual cells. And as you can see, they're growing in nicely. And what I'm loving is seeing how the color is already coming through on the coleus. I'm going to show you another one that it's really coming through. Even this one, if we can just, let me pull this out. Look at that. That is so pretty. So this is all coleus, I believe. All of it is coleus. Right here actually is some snapdragons, and those ones back there, I'll pull the tray out. They're doing okay. They're still itty bitty. Then we have over here, I just planted up, those are those poppies, those orange poppies that I came across the other day in the store and I purchased. So they're just coming up. And so we have those there. In these seed trays, or these little pots right here, we have our lemon balm, we have our spearmint, and we have our peppermint. And we can see that the lemon balm has really germinated just probably 100%. The spearmint is pretty sparse, and then the peppermint's doing okay. And so we're going to just continue to let those grow. Next, we have foxglove, and you know I have tons of foxglove. And so this foxglove right here has been up potted, except these ones. Once again, just like with the coleus, I didn't up pot all the foxgloves because these were really small. Like even that one is still kind of small. And so, but these are next in line to get potted. You have some pansies over here. Down here is more coleus, and as you can see, they are growing nicely. And sooner or later, I'll take them out of their pots, out of here, and put them in their own separate pot. But that's our tray of coleus. I use whatever I need to in order to put my plants closer to the light. I use whatever I need to. So you see the boxes. And so part of that is my fault because I didn't put the chains on the lights to put them up and down, but it's okay. So I just use the boxes, as you can see here, flower pots, things just to hold up my plants closer to the light because they need the light. So this is our second rack. On our second rack, what is going on here? This is celery. This looks like a coleus that slipped in. But on this rack right here is a struggle rack. This rack, these two pots are supposed to be celery, and I've already sold them twice. So I figured that the celery pack I sold the first time that I dropped, I figured it was old. And so I went and got two more packs of celery, two or one more pack. And I think you all was with me on that trip, and nothing has happened. I had them covered with the humidity dome and everything, the plastic. So I think just the other day or yesterday, one day ago, I took it off and I said, we're going to see. I'm not going to sow any more seeds. I'm going to direct sow celery. So if nothing comes up here, I'll just direct sow it. This is a impatient. Remember, I didn't get many impatiens. I end up getting two. So this one is one right here. And then I have another one somewhere else. We'll find it. Here's our rosemary. Oh, right here. This one is growing. So we only got two impatiens out of our first sowing where we didn't have any germination except these two. And so these two are growing. Back here we have onions. The first set of onions I sold, which these are Spanish onions, and then these are, I believe, just white onions. Yeah, just white onions. I think that's, yeah. These, once again, I put seeds in and I had to start all over. They didn't germinate, but they're doing great now. I, went and purchased more seeds. This right here is rosemary, and as we can see, we had pretty decent germination. This is just a succulent that I'm trying to save. We'll see what happens with that. This right here is a dahlia. So regarding the dahlias, which is on the third shelving unit, and so this dahlia, look at that, is doing great. But remember, I had a number of tubers, and so this dahlia right here is doing great. This tuber is doing great. This tuber hasn't produced anything. And so I'm going to just leave it there for a little bit longer, because eventually I'm going to take this dahlia out and put it in an actual pot. But this one right here hasn't produced anything. And that is sad, because I believe that, yes, as you can, this pack right here, there was 3 tubers. But if you all remember, I had to do break-in. A lot of them had broke. This is the other tuber that did excellent, and that is growing. There was, if I move over here, I have these tubers, since we're talking about the dahlias, I have these tubers right here that have not done anything. I hope you all can see that. It just seems dark. That have not done anything. And then I had one in a separate container, one tuber, and I noticed that something was going on with it. And what happened was the tuber, go back over here, when I pulled it up, it was mushy. It wasn't in this container, it was by itself, but it did have this flower on it. So I know that you can reproduce, or what do I want to call it, with dahlias. You can breed them. I don't know what to call it right now. And so I don't know what to call it right now. And so I took this little flower, or this leaf in that was on that other dahlia with a little piece of the tuber, and propagate. That's the word I need. You can propagate dahlias. I took that. What was I talking about? Breed. I was just talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, so you could propagate dahlias. And so I took this little piece of that was flowering off, along with a little piece of the tuber, and I put it in here. And we're going to see if this actually takes root or produces a tuber, or what's going to happen. So that's actually a dahlia. Down on the next row, I have more foxglove along with pansies. And the foxgloves are doing excellent, and so are the pansies. And mind you guys, I told you all I was going to fertilize. I have yet to fertilize yet. I do want to fertilize them probably in their next watering, but every time I need to water, I'm like just trying to water and just forget to fertilize. But I do want to fertilize, but they're doing excellent. Down here, we have some more pansies, and we have the delphinium. And as you can see, our delphinium is doing great too. Over here in this tray is full of snapdragons that are up potted. I do want to find something to raise this a little bit. You can see I have lost a few. That looks like it's not going to make it. This one may not. Those two definitely won't. This tray is now empty because all the trays were full. And so, yeah, and so those snapdragons are doing okay, but they're not doing as good as the snapdragons that I do have over here. So this is my third station. And so you already saw the dahlia I have here. And then up here we have our kale, cabbages, and that is red. I think that's red cabbage. Yeah, no, this is actually red Russian kale. I couldn't read the sign. So these basically all just came up not that long ago, and they're doing good. Got them close to the light by using this little foam container. I think it's like a freezer thing. My husband ordered dog food, and it comes in that to keep the dog food frozen. Anyways, down here in this row, we have our, what is this? This is back here. These are our marigolds. And I actually dropped this tray the other day. Oh my gosh. So I'm glad to see that they're doing okay. This tray right here is our pepper tray. A lot of the peppers have come up, but some of them didn't. And what I did, because some of them didn't come up, especially like a full row, I was thinking maybe that those seeds were older. So what I did was I re-sowed one seed in each one of these pepper trays or pepper cells where nothing germinated. It's okay that only 2 germinated here. I was fine with that. I got 4 here, so I didn't put anything there because 4 is enough of that particular one. And so, yeah, so all of these ones where nothing absolutely germinated, I added a seed to that tray. So hopefully those will germinate. They'll be late, but hopefully they'll germinate and we'll still have time to get some peppers. This bottom row right here is holding these are petunias, and those are looking pretty good. Back here are more snapdragons. Now you see these snapdragons compared to these snapdragons, it's a big difference. So once again, I'm going to move these over here to a brighter light. Like I said, this lighting right here is not my favorite. I got these this year. I think that I'm not going to do anything about it this year because I've, purchased enough lights. But what I am going to do for next year is I'm either going to buy another set of these or 2 sets of these so I can have 2 lights per row. Or I'm going to, I don't know. They're not that bright to me for whatever reason. Like, look how bright this one is compared to this. I don't know if you all can see the difference. Anyways, these lights are super bright. So, but even with these, it would be nice to have like double of these lights, but we'll see what happens. But these petunias and these particular snapdragons are doing well. I just watered this snapdragon tray, so it's leaning over like that. So we'll put that back under there. Here are onions, and they're perking up. They seem to be doing okay. I did give them a haircut. These are the bunching onions. So I recently gave them a haircut, and you want to do that so that they can kind of focus on their roots. And so onions take a little while to, produce. So I gave them a haircut. They're perked up. They're doing great. Over here, more coleus. And then back here are poppies. So these are poppies and they're doing great. And these are coleus. And as you can see, the color, the color right there is so pretty. But these have multiple in them. So I do need to see what I'm going to do about that. But they're looking good. So that's number 3. Our 4th and final shelving unit, what I have going on here is I just have this here to get sunlight because I leave it on the table. Like I said about these tubers are going to eventually make their way out of here. I have them here because they were over here. And I needed the space, and anything that's not producing or going to work out, I'm going to remove it from my shelf. I need my space. I don't want it to take up too much space. Eventually, a lot of these plants like the foxglove, what I like about where I do have the placement of my shelves is I have windows. I have them closed right now. It's cloudy outside, and for the sake of the video, but I'm going to move these bigger plants as they get bigger. I'll be able to move them to the top of the shelving unit in order for them to just get natural sunlight. And then I'll have these other shelves for other seedlings that are growing. Oh, I skipped a whole row in this third shelf and I didn't even realize it. So right here on the second shelf, we have, what are these? These are more poppies. These are the Cali poppies. They look dry, but they're not. They've had, I watered them. So I don't know, yesterday, I think. So I don't know why that top, it just looks dry. Oh, those are onions right there. And everything else is poppies. I'll double check them regarding if they need water, but they seem to be doing okay. Once again, like I feel like those, they can use some fertilizer. So then right here, our other tray, how did I forget? These are hollyhocks. I'm so excited about the hollyhocks. They look so good. And we have asters. The asters are doing okay. As you can see, they didn't all germinate. I might drop another seed in each one of those cells because I would like more of those. Over here, is our, let me pull it out some. This is our bachelor button. Right here is our bachelor button. And then this one is same thing. So those two are bachelor buttons. We have aster right here. And then right here, we have our hollyhocks. These look really, really good. So they'll be getting up potted sooner than later. Okay, so I did every shelf, every row and every shelf now. So this is the fourth shelf. We already talked about what's on the top shelf and what the plan is for the top of this shelf and the top of that second shelf and right under the window. I'll be able to utilize that with the bigger plants that are growing and be able to use the direct sunlight for some of these. So we have here our hostas that are growing. Our hostas, let me get down here. Our hostas are looking good. If you remember when we planted them up, look, they look like they're about to unfold on some of them, but the hostas are looking good. They're doing good. Over here we have some, what is this? Let me see. Oh, these are I still didn't figure out how to exactly pronounce that, but these are those gazinias. They look really good. This is my amaranth, and it looks like one of those gazania seeds got in that tray. This right here are my tomatoes, and they seem to be coming up nicely. Not all of them are up yet. Y'all, my daughter's just in the kitchen, just making noise. She has on her headphones, and I don't think she knows the amount of noise she's making. So if y'all hear rattling and everything, that's my daughter in the kitchen, just cooking. She doesn't even know I'm talking about her. And so, anyways, in this tray right here, and I see some seedlings are poking through, is eggplant. So we have our eggplant coming up, and we have another tomato plant. So I'll be taking that wrap, and I think I said in one of the videos that was saran wrap. That's actually like, I don't know if you call it packing wrap, but when we were moving a couple of years ago, I think it was like 3 years now since we moved to this location, we had like this wrapping. And so I'll show you all in a minute when I go back over there. And it comes on like a spool. I think that's what you want to call it, like a rolling thing. It's useful. And I've been using it in the garden ever since. This is sticking up because we have flowers. We have germination, I should say. This right here looks like nothing's germinated yet, but this is our curled kale. And then in here is sage and eggplant. And I can see right there, can you see it? Something is popping through on the sage side. Then on the bottom shelf, we have, we have cauliflower, which is these two trays right here. Can you see that? And then we have broccoli in here. So they're germinating. They germinated okay. And over here we have red cabbage. This is another cabbage. This right here is okra, and I can see now, I'll be taking this off soon. We have one plant that germinated. I want to at least, before I take it off, get at least 2 to 3 plants to germinate. But I can always pull this back and let it breathe. But there we go. Okra. And this tray right here, I didn't take a look today, but I'm going to take a look. And I think I need to water this one. I need to spray it, but there's no germination yet. These are the second go at of the impatiens that we planted up outside the other day. Then over here at the bottom, I have great germination with thyme and oregano. I know oregano. And so I'll be up potting. These will not get up potted individually. These will get up potted in clumps, if that makes any sense. And so maybe I'll do that I'll up pot that with you all. And then over here we have the 3 different types of parsley. And just like the thyme, all of my herbs and stuff will be up potted in clumps. So these will not be individual, but they'll be in groups. I will put them in pots in groups. And so once again, I use all kinds of things to hold them up. And so in order to keep these close to the light, I set them on these little tray things. And so I think we've gone over everything. So that's it. We are doing good. We have so many more plants to sow, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all the plants that the seeds I have to put down. I'm excited, but I want to make sure you all also understand that you have to keep your seedlings alive. Okay, so everything's doing great. It's so important to monitor your seedlings. You want to make sure that you're monitoring your seedlings, how much water they need, if they need fertilizer like I need to do, if they need up potting, because you've come this far. You don't want your seedlings to die on you. I lost a few snapdragons. That's okay. I have plenty of snapdragons, so I'm okay with that. But I don't want to come this far with all of these beautiful seedlings and foxglove and everything, and for me to lose everything because I neglected them. And so you want to just make sure that you're watering, staying on top of your watering. Don't overwater, but stay on top of making sure that your seedlings get the water that they need, get the fertilizer they need, get the lighting that they need. As I stated, I'm going to have to find a way. The delphinium down here is doing great. But as far as these snapdragons, I want them to look like the other snapdragons that I've up potted. I need to get them a little closer to the light. And I did have them closer to the light until the other day where I moved things around. I'm always moving stuff around. Where I move some things around. So I'm going to do some moving around again in order to get these snapdragons closer to the light, and then see if I need to up pot them. Check the roots. Make sure you're checking the roots of your plant. Let's see, what is this? This is a pansy. I know that this is a pansy, but you can tell there's not roots coming out. The roots are not all the way at the bottom, so because once you start seeing them at the bottom, sometimes that's when they start to get root bound. They start wrapping around each other, but we can see all the roots all in through here. So these are fine. I'm hoping I don't have to up pot any of these again, but if I need to up pot them, I will. And that's the thing about up potting. Up potting means more soil. More soil means you're spending more money. And so a lot of times the seeds, thankfully you can find the seeds at a good price for the most part. Those 50-cent seeds at Walmart, go to the Dollar Tree. But the soil is important. And you all know, if you've been here, that I've been dealing with soil. And I think I finally got a bag that I really like that my store didn't have before. And so I'm hoping to continue to be able to purchase that soil, that potting mix for up potting and all the things. Anyways, we're going to end here. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope your seedlings are doing great. I hope that you got something from this. And I hope that it motivates you and inspires you and just reminds you to go ahead and make sure you're always checking on your seedlings and giving them what they need, and just keep going. If something doesn't germinate, go ahead, plant it out again. Don't wait. All the things. All right. Have a good day. I thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. It really helps the channel. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Blessings. Bye.